Very good morning to all my dear students. Today we will be starting the second chapter, that is force and pressure motion. In this chapter we will be learning about the concept of motion and the various types of motion that we see in our day-to-day life. Now when we see around ourselves, we see a various type of motion occurring, like in the pictures also you can see a person going on a swing, a girl running, a person putting some force on a vehicle, a person riding a bicycle. All these phenomena include various types of motion, and this branch of physics which deals with such motion and the applied force is called as kinematics. Concept of motion. Now children, motion can be defined as the action of changing position or moving from one place to another with respect to time. For any of the object which is able to change its position with the change in time, such action will be called as motion. Now if we talk about living and non-living things, living things always require their own energy to move, like we humans or the animals, they are using their own energy to move from one place to another for doing some motion, whereas the non-living things, whatever non-living things that we see around us, they require some outside force, some external force in order to do some motion. Rest or motion. Okay, now when we talk about the motion of any body, we also need to know that what is the state of rest and what is the state of motion. How can we define rest and motion conditions? State of rest is basically when an object does not change its position with respect to time and the surroundings. Okay, whereas when we say that some object is in motion, we tell that the object is changing its position continuously with respect to time and with respect to its surrounding. Now as you can see in this picture, say these two persons are sitting in a train compartment, and they both are at rest with each other since they are not changing their position. Okay, whereas all the things that are present outside this train compartment appear to be moving. Okay, although if a person will be present outside this train compartment, he will not see any of these things, outside things, the trees, the road and everything as moving. So the concept of rest or motion depends on the surroundings also. Okay, that with respect to the surrounding, if any object is changing its position, then it will be said to be in the state of motion, and if with respect to the surroundings the object is not changing its position with respect to time, then the object will be said to be in the state of rest. Types of motion. Now various types of motion that we see around us are like your translatory motion, curvilinear motion, okay, rectilinear, oscillatory, circulatory, periodic motion, and many more. In detail, now we are going to learn about these forces and motion. The first one is the translatory motion. Translatory motion basically deals with any of the motion that is either in the straight path or in the curved path. This translatory motion is further divided into two parts. That is, first one is rectilinear and the second one is curvilinear motion. Rectilinear motion, like as you can see in the pictures, a fruit falling downwards on the ground, a person pushing a heavy object in a certain direction, and some march past done by students on a straight path. All these examples are showing that the motion of body or an object is being done on a straight path. Such a straight line motion will be called as rectilinear motion. The other kind of translatory motion is the curvilinear motion. Curvilinear motion, as the name suggests, the motion on any curved path, like the vehicles or the cars taking a turn on the road. Okay, such type of motion will be considered as curvilinear motion. Next is rotatory and circulatory motion. Rotatory motion is basically when a body moves around any fixed axis, like a rotating fan. As you can see here, this is the axis, this is the rod about which this whole blades of a fan are able to rotate. Similarly, a turbine, this is the midpoint of the wheel is the axis, imaginary axis about which the wheel can rotate. Similarly, in case of Ferris wheel, the center point is the imaginary axis about which this whole Ferris wheel will either move in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, a spinning top or a spinning wheel, these are all the examples where a wheel-like structure moves continuously either in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction about any fixed axis, and the object is not going to leave its position. It will remain fixed and it will just keep on rotating. Whereas if we talk about the circulatory motion, in case of circulatory motion, as you can see in the figure, a child is having a small object or a stone tied with a thread, and he is continuously moving the object. Now in this case, this small object will be changing its position. Once it was here, again then it was here, then it will be here. So continuously the object's position will be changed because of the force applied by the person from the center. Similarly, the motion of satellite around the earth or the motion of moon around the earth, these are all the example of circulatory motion, because here the satellite is moving on a circular path. Once it will be here, then it will change the position, maybe it will be here. Okay, so continuously it is going to change its position while moving on a circular path. Vibratory motion. Vibratory motion, as the name suggests, when the object starts to vibrate to and fro very rapidly. Okay, like when you stretch a wire or a rubber band between two fixed points, the rubber band starts to move up and down vigorously. Or various musical instruments like the guitars, sitars, okay, all these musical instruments, or violin, etc., these are having some thin strings attached to their surface, and when you strike or put a force on the strings start to vibrate very rapidly and produce a sound because of this vibratory motion. Next is repetitive motion. Now repetitive motion, as the name suggests, a motion which is continuously repeating itself. Based on the time taken, we divide this repetitive motion in two kinds. First is the periodic motion, second one is the non-periodic motion. The periodic motion is when any object is going to repeat its motion after a fixed interval of time, like the motion of the hands of a clock, like the various hands of a clock, they will take certain interval of time like 60 seconds or 60 minutes to move around this whole circle. Similarly, the motion of earth around the sun, like the earth requires 365 days to do one complete circular motion around the earth, or it takes 24 hours to move on its own axis. So these are some fixed time intervals. These objects are going to take a fixed time to complete its motion, whether it is a translatory motion, whether it is curvilinear motion or circulatory motion, any type of motion. Whereas if any motion does not repeat, or any object, if it does not repeat its motion after a fixed interval of time, it is taking every time different time to complete its motion, such type of motion will be called as non-periodic motion. Like the motion of cars on a road, when the cars or vehicles are going on the road, they will have to apply some force, there may be crowd, they will be applying some brakes, so they are going to cover unequal distances in a certain interval of time. So such motion will be called as non-periodic motion. Similarly, playing of any instrument, all these motion will be considered as non-periodic motion. Next one is the random motion. Now the name suggests random means arbitrary. The irregular motion of any object in which the direction is not fixed, and it is a possibility that one type of motion changes into another motion. Like the flying of birds, the fish which are swimming in oceans and seas, players playing any match like hockey, football, or any kind of such sports, all these motion will be considered as random motion because there is no fixed direction, and continuously from one type of motion the person will be doing, or the object will be doing some different type of motion in a different interval of time. Next and last one is the combination of motion. Combination of motion, like we can take an example of a drilling machine. A drilling machine, when it is in use, it is used to make small holes in wooden pieces or on the walls for the nails to be put into it. So when the drilling machine is being used, the pin of the drilling machine continuously starts to rotate, and also it starts to move inside into the wall or the wooden object. Hence continuously it is doing two types of motion. One, the rotatory motion, and the other is translatory motion, or you can say basically rectilinear motion, okay, because it is going inside and also the spin is rotating on its own axis. So it is a combination of two forces, two type of motion. So when a number of forces come into action all together, such is called as combination of motion. So this was all about motion, the explanation for the state of rest or motion, when you can say any object is at rest, when you can say any object is at motion, and the various types of motion that we come across in our day-to-day life. I hope now everyone will be able to put so many more examples with the different kinds of motion. Thank you.